siempre te vuelan las flores. Dolores, ¿con qué te lavas la cara? Que siempre te vuelan las flores. Dolores. Okay. I'm not gonna talk much, I suppose, because this is just something extra for that special girl. Something that she would never watch, but she still asked me to. Okay, let me see. Is it fine? Yeah, fuck it. Con que te lavas la cara. So I can actually fly now here. I just unlocked that. Con que te lavas la cara, que siempre te veo la flor. Dolores, 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 dolores. Con que te lavas la cara, que siempre te huele la flores. Dolores, dolores. María Antonia, María Antonia, tú no sabes lo que ha hecho. Oh, it's a monster. This is an eye, and this is a mouth. It's like a whale. The fuck? For Sofiella, Black Lake is better. I mean, not really. Suppose it is, but it's not a fair comparison. Giant stone eyelids. Well, it actually tells you. Shit, this is gonna be messy. You like what I like. Place, but I don't like you, so how does it work? Okay, we need to go to the bad guy somehow, and he apparently is underwater or something like that. And now we're gonna use this monster somehow. Why he speaks Lerita language? But this is like you. I wish only to sleep. And he speaks like you.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fae to know that didn't go well.
Look how pretty I am. This is almost what I need for when I become bald. Oh look, there's you.
Oh, my snake, yeah! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Guess Bismarck we picked. Van Drommel. Van Red Rithier.
I didn't hear this song in such a long time. What the fuck?
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deep...
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight.
Do you wanna see where she lives
May the
now?
blessings of the Fae keep you safe in Ba.
Let's see if the game allows me to go back. I'll show. So I don't know where we're going now.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, magic in the air when that ladder started moving. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so.
What the? You see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Oh, yeah!
It's not stopping. Run! Run!
Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
But where is the water? Yeah, that's what the big monster did, because I can breathe underwater but the others can't. And we cannot fight underwater, so with his impact he removed all the water with like a bubble of air or something like that. I don't really understand. But yeah, so it's like a dome of air, but it's not necessarily lasting forever. That's amazing. I want to go there too. Sure. It's not sure. In the tempest. I think it's probably not gonna happen that I finish it tonight, because I didn't think it was gonna be a new area going underwater. I thought it was gonna be like a last fight where we go there and there's stuff happening, but it seems that it's another part of the expansion. Oh, there's you, Sofiella. What are you doing down here? No, don't touch me, you fat little thing. Okay. But I'm gonna try and get to the crystal now so that I can teleport quickly and show you the where the little Hada lives. I gave you disease. Okay. Oh, God. think what I'll do, I'll just go there very quickly, and I think there's a way to... No, maybe not, it's fine. I'll just go to the crystal first, and then I'll take... If you resist, I'll show you as soon as possible. Go, I'm dying. But I need to get here first. Because otherwise to come back, I'll have to talk to someone. But if I have the crystal, I can just teleport to the crystal. What a mushroom. Not you. Oh, good. I found it. Okay, I can show you now. You awake with one eye open and the other one closed. That's where the fairy lives. See, there's fairies everywhere. And you live in there. See the queen. And this is my house, so I can see you every now and then. Still haven't discovered all of it, because I cannot fly yet. Wait. Let me quickly... I want to walk through these flower fields, but you already have Utebo. I invited you to live this life with me, but you're too much of a girl. Not like that. You mean the table? I mean, it's not that bad, it's not that far off. What about? Oh no, what is this? Oggi come d'incanto canto solo per te. Senti con quanto amore questo mio cuore. I've arrived. Where is my princess? Where is my princess? Singing in the water. Where is she? No. No princess for me. I'm just gonna go here and cry. And cry. There's something in it? No. I'm just gonna hug the air. I'm furious. You don't convince. Oh, fume. What the fuck is that? Ah, that's you, look. Oh, you're cute. Okay. Slav, that's you in Japan. Then. Flex. Great. Oh, that's you right now. I can do a water flip? Oh, we're only in water. Okay. There you go. Well, that was it. And then there is an old town that was submerged. See? Can't enter. Oh, in the castle? In the castle you can enter, but only with a fight. Like you have to fight the fairy. So the fairy that you, like for a while you were like evil. So we had to fight for a bit. Oh. And that's it. My house. I don't have a house. I mean, you can have one in this game, but I can show you the other player's house. They're really cute. But I don't have one because it costs 1 million and something of this, and that would be all my money. It's fine. Yeah, another day. I'll go back to the store. You never want a house. No, of course not. I'm the hero, I don't need a house. With a garden. Fuck you, your garden. What a silly girl. Band. What do you mean band? Ah, fuck you. No, that's not banned. What's banned is what you say, what you think. Your views on life. You're lit it up. No. Literally, they're checking my comment saying FFDEEU. They can't post it. They say, the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, as I said, this. No. Suppose we have a different perception of sad songs. But why do I have to help these people? It's so anticlimactic. No. Goodbye, Iona, forever. How dare you? Okay, and now that Sophia is gone, I think what I'll do, I'll just talk a bit about, well, Final Fantasy in general. I mean, this guy. So yeah. I suppose I've reached the end of this expansion as well, which is pretty much almost the end of the entire arc. And started the game, I suppose, last year. Feels like a long time ago if I think about that kind of those times there in England. But I suppose that it wasn't that long ago, just a year. And yeah, it started it, of course, because I mean, for obvious reasons with Final Fantasy, and also because quite a few people kept saying that it was one of the few real Final Fantasy, especially the story. And especially like the quality of the game in general and that kind of stuff. I've entered the game with quite a bit of hope, like thinking that it was gonna, hoping it was gonna be really good. But at the same time, I knew that it wasn't really, because normally the general opinion doesn't really reflect the quality of something. Most of the times it is actually a bad sign. And it was indeed in this case as well, I think. Especially the first part of the game, which is a huge portion of the game. It's really, really bad. It's just, at least for my taste and for my standards, it's just something that was really hard to go through. Written very poorly. And of course it's still a Final Fantasy game, so of course I don't expect something that will blow my mind. But at the same time, I do expect something really nice. A story that is very well written and that manages to be above the silly commercial things that you find normally. But of course that's a standard from ages past. So Final Fantasy hasn't been that for a long time. But despite the fact that overall, I think, from my taste and from my general opinion, it seems just a simple story, nothing extraordinary. In a subjective way, for simple reasons, I've liked it a lot and I like it a lot. So I really feel immersed, and I do. It's like a part of me doesn't want the game to finish. Like I keep thinking, like I'm almost at the end. I don't want it to come. I want to keep feeling this kind of journey. I think it's more. It's kind of a mixture of this. It's like for me personally, I enjoy that kind of idea of a journey, of something that moves along, something to discover, stuff like that. That's at least in games, especially in games. Other contexts is a little bit different, but oh, where are you going? Oh, come here now. Oh god. But yeah, after all this time, my character and the other characters not really, but the story and the world is like, it's there's some aspects that are intriguing in certain moments. So, for example, none of the secondary characters I think are that interesting at all, or that I feel any bond to them, despite having spent almost 700 hours, like over 700 hours. It's not like something that... It's not the same as the other games where using Final Fantasy VII as an example, you might build some kind of bond with Vincent, even, I don't know, Red 13, even Yuffie maybe. Personally, I suppose not even in those games, but with some of the characters at least, but here not even one, to be honest. I suppose they've been treated very, very badly, really, because the characters don't have so much space, they don't have so much that is shown, that is said. They appear every now and then, they say a few things, but they are very plainly written. They could have done much more. Instead of doing so many quests that you're just wasting your time making friends with whatever population you need to help and shit like that. It could have been more personal, more intimate with a cast of characters and not some random civilian that you're never gonna see again. And again, of course, this is an MMORPG, but doesn't mean that it has to do the usual things that an MMO does. In fact, it's the only one really where you actually read the story. There's no MMO really there where you read the story normally. You just play, you just skip through it, don't really even a word. And I had to put a lot of effort because I didn't skip not even one speech of dialogue for the main story and all the blue quests that had a narrative. That's where my time has gone mainly. So I'm really bad at the game, or almost know nothing, but the story I read it all at least. Yes, and I've tried to, I put effort into liking it. So even the fact that now I like it so much is because the fact that I feel immersed. It's because of, I think a good part of it is because of my personality as well, that I try to pay attention, to listen. I thought to myself, okay, let's actually be in there. But I don't think the game is very good at capturing the attention or the interest of players, because again, it's pretty bland for the most part. The story, I say. The phasing is the phasing of an MMO that makes no fucking sense. It's like so much of your time you're spending it doing so many silly things that are always the same thing. Goes from point A to point B, talk, point B to point C, talk, and it breaks a lot the way you can feel the story and the way you can immerse yourself. So yeah, I think overall they did type the kind of game and the way they approached the story, because it's not just the genre, I think it's also the way they decided to do it. It's just not possible to do something well written if you approach it this way, if you approach the MMO as an MMO. I think you can make an MMO, but make the story something less silly, more well paced, maybe shorter. It doesn't have to be short, I think, but of course if it's shorter it's easier to make something interesting and well written, at least in my opinion. Of course not something is so short, because that of course would do the opposite result, but yeah, I think it could have been approached in such a better way. Despite all that, again, as I said, I feel quite immersed, and sometimes if I put a lot of effort, I can actually, feel like this is my character. It's not just a person in the game, but it's kind of like as if I'm almost there in a way with him. Maybe actually one character that is nice for me is the warrior of light of this world. So now I don't remember his name, but him, he sounds a little bit more human than the others. He's more sad, of course, melancholic, but it's not just that. It's like he's also more than that. While the others are most of the time just friends of the hero, I think Tancred got a little bit more interesting here, because again, he shows other aspects, other emotions, other than the usual 2, maximum 3 emotions. So, but even that, it's not, I'm not gonna be like, oh wow, what a story, what a character. It's more like, oh, at least he does this, is a bit more. Yeah, the story is kind of cute, and what they've explained in Shadowbringers, at least I'm understanding a little bit, and it's intriguing. But again, I presume there's a lot of the fact that I actually sat down and went through all of it and put effort into liking it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be impressed by it, or I wouldn't feel much for it. But definitely the expansions were, like, the expansions were pretty good. Like, especially Heaven's Sword, Shadowbringers. I liked them a lot, and you know, I would play hours and hours and hours non-stop, going through the story, doing other things, and especially Heaven's Sword. I was in England, I wouldn't go to sleep, and I would go to work right away, playing it. I do think maybe I like Shadowbringers more, but Heaven's Sword, it's like, if you saw me playing Heaven's Sword, you'd be like, fuck, you're in love, but not really. It's more like, yeah, it's intriguing, and I wanted to go through it and all that. But yeah, Shadowbringers, I mean, Stormblood was definitely something that was really hard to go through as well. I liked Xenos a lot. I don't think he's well written. It's more like I enjoyed some sentences he said, especially the end, just the way he turns in the end, talking about the main character as if they're friends. That, again, it's silly, it's just personal taste. I don't think it's just necessarily written well, but personally I felt something there for him. And even now that he's back, in a way, I think it's silly, but at the same time I'm kind of happy because I like him, so if I can see more of him, and if it's in a silly way, it's not about. And the places in Heaven's Sword, maybe I didn't like so much the actual maps. I didn't feel much for them, but Shadowbringers, all of them seem insane. So I think that there's that as well. Shadowbringers has also like a darker tone to it. It's like there's some sad stuff happening in a way. But yeah, at least for sure the dialogues from Heaven's Sword onward, more or less. Of course, there's up and downs, but generally they've been something that, you know, it was not worth reading, but that you could read without wanting to kill yourself. Not like the first part of the game that is just, there's nothing to save really, I suppose. It's just torture. But yeah, the dialogues seem a little bit more natural, not always cheesy, not always so plain. I say not always because, again, it's nothing extraordinary. And I know that I sound as if I just hate the game, even though I play only this almost every day with the little time that I have, and I like it a lot. Again, I'm just trying to be very, as I said, very honest about it, and very how do you say, aware about it. It's like, you know, I'm aware that it's basically dog shit if you compare it to many of the things that exist, and not just the games, but, you know, narration, books, maybe even movies, you know, when you talk about depth of things and stuff like that. But I know people go crazy if I start comparing things like a game to a movie, but apparently you cannot do that. So it's fine if you just want to compare the game to another game. For whoever is listening to this in the future, again, as I said in other videos, I try to speak as if I'm talking to myself for the future, to Sofiella and to a possible person that watches this, like a random person. Yeah, let's read this a sec. easy. See, this makes so little sense. It's like the main character is about to die, and we don't know when that is gonna happen. There's a very important friend that is being held captive by the bad guys that are somewhere around here, and we are just helping these guys out. And you know, you may say, okay, you need to do that because of course they gave you a good enough reason, which is you cannot do otherwise. What are you gonna do then? Just go around the place, search for your friend? Well, I would say yes, but if you don't find that as a good alternative, at least write it differently. Like, make sure that you make it clear that it's a drastic situation, that the clock is ticking, but it just doesn't feel so. And it's not just because of course I'm free to do anything because it's an MMORPG, so I should be able to, you know, never go here again and do another 1,000 things. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that when I talk to Yoshitola, she needs to talk to me as if everything is fine. Like, now let's see, maybe they're actually gonna dress, but I would have you perform. See, it all sounds just normal. Like, it's like, yeah, do this, do that, but I'm dying. Like, I'm about to die. So that's one of the examples of how you cannot just say that this is a nice story in general. It's like, it's a decent story for an MMO that doesn't need to be an MMO, because again, as we saw, this already doesn't really feel like an MMO, because again, you're reading the story. An MMO feels different. You don't read this kind of stuff. You don't read anything. And for me, it's such a waste because, of course, for my personal taste, because it's such a great game for many other reasons. And the story is nice. It just had to be written and addressed differently, I think. Give more space to the main characters and make sure that the pacing is very well taken care of. This sort of stuff, that is nothing crazy, I would say. And I don't write stories, I'm no one. So maybe what I say is completely rubbish, but I don't know about that. In this case, I don't know. Okay. But yeah, despite that, as a person, I don't get annoyed so much by the fact that the pacing is wrong and it's not well written. I enjoy a lot of trash, a lot like this. I always use the same example, which is Saint Seiya. I think it's completely trash, but I would say I almost love it now, but I like it a lot. It's one of the things that I like the most, for very simple things, for specific reasons. Oh, who knows? Impossible to think. There we go. Okay, for once, that's cool. Thing is, I don't see shit. Northwest, so this one. But yeah, and for very specific reasons, I like this. So it's like the slow process, the slow journey, and the fact that it's very, very long. It feels like, you know, reading a fantasy series that is almost never ending. And then, of course, I mean, the music, but not even that so much. Like, I wouldn't play the game just for the music, but that is really nice. But for example, even just for example, the when you enter a new area, like it just happened. This time it wasn't as nice as the other ones, but this character starts talking as if he's like a narrator voice, and what he says is so nice and so impactful. Maybe a little bit too much, but for me, I like it. Like, I understand if some people find it cringe or too theatrical, but I enjoy those things, so I personally like it a lot. Yeah, so that's even just one of the reasons why, you know, I might be like, oh, I feel like playing it for hours now for that. And yeah, there's quite a few other reasons, such as, you know, even just the fact that the game has bosses and areas that might look things that I really like or things that I've known. And the fact that I knew that Kefka was there somehow, I was like, well, I just want to see that, right? But yeah, the main thing that makes me want to play is for sure the story and the feeling of living this journey. And even if it's not maybe, you know, very well written, I personally like it a lot, and it makes me feel like I've lived this kind of journey in a way or another. Yeah. That's the main thing, really. There's not much more to say. I even like this, like even the fact that, for example, I would go even further and I would play like this. I don't, because I don't have the time, and I don't have. It's also hard because I have to put effort in being patient. But for me, like when I was a kid, an MMO was this. I didn't have mounts as a kid. I didn't know how to unlock them. I didn't have the knowledge to do it, the capability to do it. So we always walk around with my friends and explore the place and take it in for real. Like you need to walk all those distances and... Oh, is this the place? Yeah. But yeah, you have to walk all those distances and look at the scenery, the monsters. And when you start flying around here, you just don't take it anymore, at least for me. And even like here, like this is a kind of a middle ground. Yes, it's not so fast, but still. And so yeah, like I enjoy a lot the fact that just taking it in, like feeling it a lot. Try to be taking as much as possible that was of course created, or what the experience, what people had in mind when creating the experience or whatever. Can we go now? If we can go, then I'll take it back, at least for this area. Oh fuck. How can it be the swiftest path, man? But yeah, at least the game tries to always kind of justify, even if it's silly, at least it gives you some justification as to why you're doing silly stuff. So at least it makes you feel a little bit better. But yeah, even now I could teleport back to the city, right? But I just feel like I am castrating the experience in a way. At least for the way I would have liked to enjoy it, because I don't have it in me anymore. I don't have the time for it. I noticed that I have to put more effort. As a kid, I would lose my head. I would be so much into it, and I would be like astonished by it in a way. And for me, it's like an attempt at being a kid. Like I try to be a kid, but I understand that it's not 100% working, which is fine. I like it like this. For me, it's enough the fact that I try to be a kid. It's more than enough. It's probably even better than being a kid, to be honest. So I prefer it all in all as an experience. And this I'm not gonna read. Sometimes I read them, and for example, there was this really nice blue one, which was in the place of Elmure. So here there was this blue quest that was very interesting, because again I had this kind of twisted idea, very dark, but at the same time kind of delicate. And it's strong with the girl and the chief of the village, where the chief is kind of crazy because they went a little bit crazy because everyone died, like his wife, his best friend, and stuff like that. And you go around kind of like following his craziness. So it's like, oh, if like he pretends that his people, like the close people to him, are still alive, and you play along to kind of help him with his grief and stuff like that. again, I'm not saying that I personally think it's cool and that's well written, blah blah blah. But I enjoy it in a subjective way, not in a critical way. I must be a pain in the ass to like, specify all these things, but at the same time, what do I prefer, being a pain in the ass or ambiguous and unclear? Clearly the first one, and clearly I'm not gonna read. But was it such an important story, this, because it's going on for a bit? Seems like we are very close to the end, but not enough, because still a bit to see this, but I think I'll record it all at least. Because I like the bad guy in this case, how he turned out and what he's been doing. Not in a critical way, but again, subjectively, I prefer the way he moves, the way he talks, and the fact that he tries to be friends with us and he's not really tricking us too much. The way he reacts, the way he's hiding here like this, it's better than the other main characters, the other bad guys we've seen so far. Even though Xenos was not so bad at all. And of course, one of the most beautiful things is that, you know, the dungeons and all these places, all these things that you need to do and you can do, they're all tied in with the story, really. And again, they might not be the craziest story ever, but it's really nice to live those moments, to live those fights. And I wish they were more than just, especially the dungeons, more than just running through a place. Like, you run through these places and you just kill monsters and run down this corridor, this beautiful corridor though. Beautiful corridors, insane places, it's crazy to see, but they are just corridors with monsters. And I wish they were a little bit more playful, like, you know, you have to do this puzzle with others, you have to cooperate a little bit more instead of just fighting. I wish so much that, but it's not the case. But at the same time, it's still a miracle for me to, you know, being able to go as a party of 4 people, the healer, the 2 fighters basically, and the 1 person at defense, and the 4 of you, that you're all needed. If one is not there, you just don't go on. And it really feels like those, you know, Final Fantasy dungeon from the old times where you would play on your own with your 4 characters in a turn-based, and you would go down a cave and you would be on your own though with your little console. And here you're with other people, like other people that have their own heroes, their own aesthetic, their own classes that are so deep and beautiful to see. And you will go through these beautiful places with them. You have to cooperate to fight these incredible monsters, and it feels all very magical if you think about it. Because if I don't think about it, you can just go in soulless and you just do whatever. But when I think about it, I always get astonished. It's like, fuck, I'm healing this person in this corridor, but in this cave, in this dungeon, this palace, and we are witnessing all this. I can see him move, like right now, live. He's moving, he's doing his thing, and I could even talk to him. Like, and if you actually play this game well, if you actually play it in a social way, of course, no one does that anymore. I suppose it's just a very a small amount of people, but if you play this game in a social way, the way it's supposed to, well, the way they were supposed to be played once, it must be insane. Like, you know, you have your group of friends, or multiple friends, that you experience these adventures together, and they are so well done in so many gameplay aspects. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think it's one of the best things, because even now, like when I have to do them again, and I've done them, especially some of them, I've done them a lot of times. But you still, you know, if you try not to be detached and not so soulless, I still feel like something, because you know what was going on, you were reading, you were part of it somehow, and I do think, you know, it's an experience that, despite that, I think is nothing crazy at all, and there's many more beautiful things that have been written and done, that you think about them, and I put my hands in my hair. I still, you know, would feel like I would say, you know, if you have the time, which people don't. Oh my god, this is like Final Fantasy VII. Okay. But if you have the time and the patience, it's a really nice experience. It's like a nice journey, and I would do it again, honestly. And that's why I said that, like I wish it didn't come to an end. And it is not really, in a way, because there's gonna be expansions and stuff, but it is gonna be an end, because, you know, I was able to play all this non-stop, in a way. Like, I stopped for some months, but I played on my own pace. Like, it's like you have there the book, the series, and you can read it whenever you want. And it's different when the series hasn't been written, you're waiting for the next chapter. It's very, very different, at least for me. Well, it's cute. So, in a way, it is gonna be at the end. Not completely, but I'm probably gonna be fine with it at some point, but right now, for these weeks, it's sad. Great. Imagine still doing this after 700 hours. This is the least worst thing. One of the worst things is just moving a box. safer. I think we're gonna stop here, basically. What is this, Santa Claus? Oh, that's for clothing, I suppose. Before stopping, I wanna show one of the things I was trying to say. And I think Shadowbringers, for example, is more like the example of what I was trying to say, where you have to improve the pacing, because it feels like it felt way shorter, Shadowbringer, at least for me. I don't know if it is, but it felt way shorter and better paced than the others. And even the camera work, like I don't know how to say it in English, but the regia, the way the scenes were constructed, some of the scenes, I think they were just better than any of the expansions before. It felt more like cinematic, and the voice acting has always been not bad, and here it's pretty good, especially with some characters. And one of the characters that I think is pretty cool as a bad guy, nothing again crazy, but it's this guy. And I mean, the fight is insane. Let's see if we're gonna find it anytime soon. I'm gonna go with the healer, even though I'm shit, but wait, what the fuck? TV just switched on its own. Weird. But we're gonna probably lose because healers are very important and I'm shit. But this place is really cool as well. But yeah, that's just an example of, that's a fight that people enjoy just because it's enjoyable as a fight. You play it and it's challenging, it's hard, it's cool. But if you managed to read all the way through the story and be inside it and feel like a part of it and stuff, that fight is, I believe 100 times better. Just like many others, just pretty much like any of them. Like, I wouldn't be enjoying the game if I don't know what the fuck is going on and just killing mindlessly things without even being so active. So I know many people do that and they enjoy that, but for me it's just like not something that I would enjoy so much at this point. And we're gonna see how it's gonna be, because I want to try. I'm thinking every day how to play World of Warcraft, and I don't think with World of Warcraft I would read the story, despite how I want to play everything from the beginning. I'll try and read the story and see how it is. If it's very, very shit, which I presume it is, because it's one of those games where you just skip the story, I would presume, then I'll see how it is, how it will be just fighting mindlessly without even half a feeling for what you're doing, from a story side of view, point of view. But I'm sure I'll be able to, but I want to see how much I will enjoy, how much I will last. Yeah, it's not finding the fight, but we'll wait for a bit. Oh, I want to switch off the thing. No. I want to see if I can. Great. Hopefully it will work, so that it doesn't skip the actual cutscene before the fight.
Are you so determined to die? One last chance, villains! Bow down and acknowledge your king! Your god! Come! Prepare for judgment! This will be a burden.
It is one of those fights that you've got multiple people, all of these people playing together and trying to overcome this really hard fight together. This is not so hard because it's basically normal mode, but then there is the same fight in hard mode and like, well, it's called extreme and it's really hard, like you need to actually study. But this you can kind of win if you just pay attention, and I understand what's going on a bit, just slightly. Of course there's a lot of lights going around because everyone is doing their abilities like I am, and there's a lot of particles and things going on. I should maybe take them off, but now it's too late. I might be Italian and therefore biased, but fuck me. Jesus Christ. And the fact that you know that that bastard is, you know, basically a piece of shit, and he turns into this, and you fight it. It's just way better than not knowing what the fuck you're doing, I think. Oh, fuck. I made it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Jeez. I was revived right in front of him when he was doing his last attack, basically. Okay. We won. And that's it. That's part of the beauty of this incredible, majestic, okay, never ending, full of stuff, full of beautiful, inspirational stuff, full of magic. Full of badly written characters. Full of things that are pretty much always the same thing, but in a pretty way. What the fuck are you? Okay, so I'm supposed to do one of these, right? I'll do that next time. For now, we just stop here.